In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to play 10 cool blues turnarounds. I'm going to show you how to play them in various keys. We're going to be focusing on the E blues in the open position, E, A, B. And also the A, D, and E. Then I'm going to show you some turnarounds that you can adapt for various keys. And at the end, the last two, I'm going to play the whole turnaround section as kind of like a lead solo type turnaround for the more maybe intermediate to advanced player. There's definitely something there for everyone, and you can take away little bits and pieces and hopefully create your own stuff. The lesson is supported by guitar tabs, so you can easily follow along and learn each turnaround. All right, blues turnaround 1. Let's hear it with a backing track. Turnaround 1 is in the key of E, and so many blues songs are written in the key of E, so this one will come in handy. Welcome to Master Guitar Fret. My name is Jörg. Please take a moment to subscribe, hit the bell so you get notification when new lessons go up. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm going to be playing some of these turnarounds with my fingers because that's how I like to play them, but you can also play them with your pick, okay? That might require you to play some hybrid picking. Where the pick takes care of one string and the finger takes care of the other one. Like I can easily do that with my fingers. With the pick, I'll have to hybrid pick. So this turnaround will take up the space of the last two bars. The last E bar and then back to the B. 5 chord, 4 chord, 1 chord, and starts right here. Very simple. Our middle finger is on the G4, and then we pick the E and a B string on the way up. Then we'll go to G3, do the same, go to G2, and then we go to G1. And here we only pick the G and the open E string. And then we'll play this. Okay, it's the C9 and the B9. You have lots of options here, but I'm just going to show you with that B9 because it sounds really good. And you could also use that turnaround as an ending. End it on that. Turnaround number 2. Let's hear it with a backing track. Turnaround number 2 is very similar to turnaround number 1, but we're adding one different note here. It's very similar. We're adding our index finger here, middle finger on the G4, and the index finger on the B3. And then pick the same way, G and then E and B. Move the whole thing. Okay, and then at the end only the G and the open E. And then to finish, pick the A1 and an A2. And then we're going to the B9. Or you could do a B7. Either or. And here you can also hammer on. Gives you different options. Lick number 3 is again very similar to lick 1 and 2. And we're adding another finger now. We're adding our ring finger. Let's hear it with a backing track. Here we're adding another finger, our ring finger, and it goes on the high E string, fret 4, and we're basically making this D7 shape, right? D7 is right here. So we're basically making that D7 shape on the 3rd fret. Same pattern as before. At the end, only the G and the open E. Again, the B9 or the B7 suffices there nicely. Okay, so here are 3 cool turnarounds for a blues in open E or in E. These turnarounds are great for an acoustic guitar, and you can try to modify them a little bit to your own liking. Turnaround 4, still in E. So we go to the normal turnaround, 5 chord, 4 chord. Once we hit the 1 chord, we hit that once. And then we go to the 5A and we pick it. I use my middle finger for that. We pick it twice, the open E and the A. Twice on the 5, twice on the 4, twice on the 3, twice on the 2. And then we mute and we go, and a B7. And then we'll play this down, up, down, and then back into the blues. Turnaround number 5, we are still in E. So same as before, but this time we're actually picking the 5A and the 4G. Play this twice, move it up, and then we can do the same as before. Similar, but yet a little bit different. Turnaround number 6 is in the key of A. Another popular open blues area for players to play around, because you can play this blues right here. So it's nice to have a nice turnaround handy. Play the 5 chord, 4 chord, the 1 chord once, and then open A, and then play this. So with our middle and ring finger, we pick both on the 5th fret, the D and the B string. Twice. Twice on the 4, twice on the 3, and once on the 2. And then we'll play this. The open A, hammer on a 1 and 2 D, and then open E. Turnaround number 7 is almost the same as number 6. Turnaround number 8 is something that you can play in many different keys. Starts actually in that A bar chord. So if we're in A, we come out of the turnaround. hybrid picking. So we pick the 6 and 5, G respectively E string. Then we go on a 7, G and 7 E. Then we pick 8. And then we go to 9. And we slide twice. And then to finish, we'll go on the A chord down here. There's the bar chord again. And we just pick the B and the E string and slide up. That turnaround works in any key. You can play that in G. Then of course you have to move up to the G here for the slide, right? The next two turnarounds are a little bit more complex because they will cover the entire turnaround, and we're playing a lead over the entire turnaround. Turnaround number 9 is in the key of E again. As we go into the 5th chord of the turnaround, we play this. When we go to the A chord, we play this. And then when we go to the 1 chord, we play this. You remember this one because it's one of the turnarounds we just learned. We play on the A string the 1 and the 2 twice, and then the open E. And then as we go into the 4th chord, the A, we play this. Okay, so we slide to the G6. We play the B5 and back to G6. Then we play E7, 6, and 5. Then we play 8B, back to E5, back to B8, then B5, then from B5 to G6. Then you open low E and a high E. Let me play it again. And then we'll play this familiar turnaround here we already learned. Turnaround 10 is in the key of E. So the turnaround here goes actually like this. It's a different variation of the 12-bar blues, but it still works. Over the 5 chord, the B chord, we play this, and here's the B chord. And on that note right here, it goes to A. We bar both D, 7, B, and E. And we pick it and we hammer on the B9. And then we hit that barred section again. Then we go to G9, G8, and D9. Then we'll play this hammer on again and land on the G9 with a vibrato. And at this point, we go back to A. Over the A chord, E5, B6, slide it, and then a G9. Then we slide the whole thing to the 9, back to E7 there, and then we'll go to the G9 and G7. And then it goes into the 1 chord. And then in the 1 chord, it does this. So slide to G9, the B6, and the G7. And then it goes back to the 4th chord. And on the 4th chord, it does this. Again, we bar the B and E. As you rake over it, you pull off on the E7 and 6. And then I pull off from B8 to E5. Then G7 to G4. D5 twice. Then a slide from A5 to A7. And then we go back to the 1 chord, the E chord, and we'll play this E7 here. So let me play that whole thing. And then we resolve back to the 5 chord. For that E7 chord, our ring finger on the A7, our middle finger on the D6, our pinky on the G7, and our index finger on the B5. Okay, then we hit first the A string, and then we make that B7 chord, and we hit first the A string. I hope you enjoyed this lessons. Have fun with those turnarounds, and until next time, I will see you soon. Take care.